did not know you were a rugby player. Now your knee injury makes sense. Thank you, Michelle. Our last and final speaker today is Pat Costin, who's been a Toastmaster for 5 months. I'm never going to forget that pronunciation. He joined to improve his public and impromptu speaking skills. Today, Pat will be giving his 5th speech, and the objective of that speech is to use stance, movement, and gestures, facial expressions, eye contact, to express your message and achieve your speech's purpose. Tall order there, Pat. Your 5 to 7 minute speech is called Winding Solution. Please join me in welcoming Pat.
A roaring fireplace, a sparkling Christmas tree, warm, hot cocoa, and a snake on the roof? Well, here to tell you that this is what I experienced during this past holiday season. And you may be wondering, why was there a snake on your roof? Well, the purpose of this talk is to tell you how a snake got up there and what I did about it. So back up about 8 months, and I basically purchased my first house. And along with the purchase of a new house, oftentimes comes a home warranty that's kind of automatic. And so a couple weeks after we moved in, my wife had noticed that in our kitchen sink, our drain was draining slowly. And actually, according to her words, it had she was doing it's a cattywampus effect. So, so obviously there was an issue. So we decided to call the home warranty and get someone in here. So plumber number 1 shows up, and what happened? Now, no, this is not a prop from Jurassic Park. This is actually a portion of our pipe that got replaced from that first visit. So actually what the plumber did was he took it's called a snake, and he basically shoved it down the kitchen and put a hole through it. So our pipes were that bad. So he did replace that portion of the pipe. He also recommended that we replace other portions of the pipe. And then he actually recommended what's called a clean out as a ground level access point. And so so he left. He replaced the pipe. He snaked it a little bit. He couldn't go all the way down. But it seemed to improve the matter. So we were all set until the day after Christmas. And that's, I'm sorry, until the day after Christmas, the water was backing up again, right? So at this point, my wife was a little unhappy with that first experience with the plumber. He had he just had a bad experience. He was trying to sell us on stuff we thought we didn't need. It was not covered by the insurance. So we called the discount router company. And so that's discount router company number 1. They come and they basically try to put the router down our sink. They get it stuck, or they couldn't go all the way through. So he takes it out of the sink, goes on the roof, and goes through our vent pipe and shoves it down the vent pipe, and proceeds to get it stuck in our pipe. So at this point, he calls his boss. His boss comes over, and then they both try to basically yank this snake from on our roof. And so they were spending about a good 20, 30 minutes trying to do it. They couldn't do it, so it was the owner of the company said, in my 32 years in this business, I've never had this happen to me before. And basically they said, we're not going to charge you, but you guys have serious problems, and they proceeded to leave. So we had a snake, on our roof, just hanging, It's a snake, and it's a problem. We have to deal with it. So, what are we going to do? So the next step, we decided to go back with the home warranty company and get someone else out. So they send out plumber number 2, and so the plumber number 2, what does he do? So plumber number 2 looks at it, and he basically said that. I think they tried to router it and they couldn't do it. We told them about the stuck router, and he said, yeah, I can't put a camera down there because you've got a snake that's stuck in there. I'm not going to put my camera down. So, so he proceeds to also recommend that we have a ground level clean out. Okay, so now there's 2 people that have recommended that we do this. So he goes back, and that's all he told us. So we got to get the snake out. So at this point, we had 2 recommendations to get it clean out. So we called our handyman to install this ground level clean out, because apparently that would help get the snake out. So our handyman comes out, and the first thing he does is, so he looks down in the sink, and he looks underneath, and lo and behold, we do have a ground level clean out. So not only did my wife and I miss it, but 2 plumbers missed the fact that we actually had a ground level clean out. So, okay, you have a ground level clean out. So then we call the discount rooter place back. They come back and use the ground level clean out to get the snake out. So good. So we have no snakes in our drain, but we still have an issue. We still have a plumbing issue. So at that point, what did we do? We let's see. Okay, so at this point, so we called the home warranty company, and they basically said there's nothing more we can do, right? So we were a little upset about that, and my wife was upset enough to call corporate and complain and say, hey, this is ridiculous. You know, under the terms here, this is something that's covered. We're going to report you to the insurance commissioner, yada yada. So we got another plumber. So this is plumber number 3 that comes out, and so plumber number 3 comes in, and they came with a camera. So plumber number 3 first comes in. They try to router it. They couldn't router it, and so a week later, the same plumber number 3 company comes in with a camera company, and they try to get a camera down there. The camera doesn't see anything in the main sink. It does, it gets stuck. It can't see anything. So they went up on the roof, and they put the camera down our vent, and then down through our main line. And they were able to tell us where the main line was, as well as our main line seemed to be intact and okay. So it was just the line going from the kitchen to the main drain line. So at that point, then they left us with a recommendation saying, okay, we recommend that you basically run a new pipe all the way around your house and then tee into your main drain line. It's going to cost about $6,000 to $7,000, but a couple of days later, the written quote came in at $12,000. So, needless to say, huge sticker shock. Not something we wanted or could do. So, we talked to our handyman, and based on consulting our neighbor, talking to the handyman, he was confident that he could bust our concrete in our kitchen and tie in directly to the drain line. So, we got it for a fairly reasonable price. And we just got that fixed, so now we don't have any more snakes in our drain or on our roof, and so the purpose of this is also, our solution was winding, but we're not winding like a snake, but we got there. So.
That was very entertaining.